What's up mga dong mga day? In this video, I'm gonna share to you how I study for online classes, especially during exams. For you to know, I just graduated from senior high school and now I'm taking up BS Chemistry at Silliman University. Now we all know that this school year is unique from before because now we're going online. And talking about online classes, some of you are actually happy, but some are actually not feeling good about it. That is why at the end of this video, I'm also gonna share to you study tips for online classes. But before we proceed, it's shoutout time! Trisha, Benj, Homer, Esther, Gian, Son, JR, and Soy. Subscribe, like this video, and comment down below so that I'll include you next shoutout time. Back to the video. Okay, so how do I prepare for online classes? No, maybe the first question that we need to ask is, where do I take my online classes? The answer is here. I mean, there. I mean that. This place, this room. Way back on summer, when we were thinking about how are we gonna go to school, we realized that we are now gonna take online classes. So it came to our mind, where will we actually conduct or actually do our online classes? In our case, we have a free room, which is this one, which is actually a storage room back then, and now we transformed it into a virtual room. And because of this room, we can actually eliminate some external distractions, and also because of that, we have our own space committed only for studying and for our online classes. Now, I actually share this room with my sister. Like, this is my desk, this one, there. And then her desk is right here, at the side, right here. Now, once I'm inside this room, my mindset is now focused on academics and school, or business, or career. Serious matters are taken up here. The first thing that I'll do is actually to look on my schedule. To look on my schedule, guys, because it's very important to look on your schedule. Now, I made a blackboard, which is this one. This is a blackboard sticker, and I divided it, which includes the days of the week and upcoming section. Now, for you to see what's actually on this blackboard, I'm just gonna grab it and I'm gonna share it to you on the screen. Here you go. So as you can see, guys, I divided it into 8 parts. The 7 are actually the 7 days of the week, and one section is committed for the upcoming, which is beyond this week. Okay, did you get it? It's like that. I am using sticky notes, but actually the sticky notes aren't that sticky, so I used scotch tape on it na lang. Since there's a lot of things to do, I made some labels using colors. Now on my labels, red is for urgent, green is for study, blue is for business, brown is for schoolworks, orange is to do or others, and cyan is for meetings. Now the next thing is I do is of course to open my laptop, because you know it's where I do my online classes. So there's 3 tabs that I open online. First is the messenger, which is to see announcements that happened the night before, or maybe there's, you know, any news that came. The second is the Gmail or Google Drive, to see some formal announcements that also happened the night before, or you know, left unchecked. And the third one, and the most important one, is the SOUL website. SOUL stands for Silliman Online University Learning. Now let's talk about SOUL. I'm gonna share to you my SOUL. So this is Silliman Online University Learning. So you need to log in here, you need to click that, and then you can choose to log in using this, or you can choose to log in using your Google accounts or Mahara. So I will log in using Google account. Okay, so I need to sign in with this. We need to sign in using our su.edu.ph na email. So this will serve as, oh my god, there's new. Uy, daga na, uy. Okay, so this is the home page or the dashboard of the SOUL. So mani siya, mga courses here, you can see it here. And then you can also see here at the right side ang inyong mga kailangan i-submit or the deadlines. Now this corner is the feedback. You can see here what are the feedback, or you know, the response of the teachers or anything like that. Then messages here, and then some forum posts over here. So when we access this, for example, I have a class on chemistry lecture here. I'm just gonna click this, and then it will be like this. So ingon ani ang mahitabo. You can see different tabs here. I mean different sections: introduction, announcement, attendance, introduction, and then these are the contents of the course na already kani siya na diri ang aside. So yeah, basically it would be like this. Diri ang makita tanan na mga buhatonon. You always need to put your attendance in here. You need to submit here. Click attendance, and after you click it, you put it here. Once you open it at the time where you are supposed to have classes, you can submit your attendance here. If there's anything, for example here at chapter 1, if there's some materials that will be given, it will be posted here. Example kanito, these are all materials where we can download it. So that's it. Okay, so how do I study? Study ba gid ko? Before I study, I actually need to set a schedule of it on my days in there, and actually I set it for around 1 hour and 30 minutes, same as the time schedule for our classes. This is for me to have a structure or like a commonality on the things that I do. Just like the duration of our classes, it's also for 1 hour and 30 minutes. Now for me to study, I also set it for 1 hour and 30 minutes. Now also it's important to take notes during your lecture because there are some items on the exams that are actually not found on the PowerPoint or on the materials given, but are only given during the lecture. So you need to take note of that. Actually, I don't really copy the mga PowerPoints or the materials that are given if I know that there's a material that will be given. So I only take note the important things that the teacher said and the likes. Now the next thing that I do is to print the materials. You don't really need to do this, but it's a matter of preferences. For me, I really want to study having something like a paper, a physical paper on it, rather than just looking at the screen of your computer. I don't really learn while doing that. So I just print it, write on it, make it messy, write anything you want, incorporate the notes that you've taken down, and then try to make a bigger, more understandable sense of what actually the topic is all about. So the next thing that I do is actually to set the environment. Now 50% is already done because I do my studies here in this room, which is committed and dedicated only for studying and for online classes. However, here I do have my phone, I do have the laptop, I still have a lot of distractions. So what I do is I set aside my phone so that I will be away from distractions. Another possible source of distraction is actually the laptop because I opened my messenger. However, I don't really need to close it. I only need to mute the notifications. After I set my environment into studying mode, the next thing that I do is actually to scan my notes or scan the given materials. I do really believe that you need to scan your materials first before you actually study those. When you are reading a book, you read it from page to page, like page 1, page 2, like that. You read throughout in there, like sunod-sunod, line by line. That's how it goes. That's the story goes. However, I believe that when you are reading academic materials, scanning the given material will actually give you a glimpse or an understanding, an overview of the topics and the things that you will learn on that given material. That's why I prefer to scan first before I dig deeper and really study the topics that are being mentioned, because it is easier to study and to understand when you actually know the overview of what you are going to know. The most important part of how I study is actually to sit down and study that notes. I utilize the Pomodoro Technique. Basically, this technique divides the time of focus that you do and the time of just doing anything you want to do. So since I have 1 hour and 30 minutes, I break down into 3 parts, 30 minutes each. Now, those 30 minutes each are actually just a repetition. 25 minutes of it is actually dedicated to study, while the 5 minutes of it is dedicated to do anything that I want to do. like opening my social media or going to the bathroom or getting some snacks and anything like that. And then repeat it for 3 times since I have 1 hour and 30 minutes. And since you've reached this point of the video, I'm gonna give you some study tips. Tip number 1. Organize your time and space. I think you can already see how I stress out and really emphasize the importance of organizing your time and your space. Because when you actually organize your time, you will have more control of it, and then you will realize that you can do more things in a day. If I will not organize my time, especially during weekends, it will all lead to procrastination or doing nothing, doing just anything, social media, microtasking. You know what's microtasking? Okay, let's talk about that next time. The second tip is actually to know your studying style. Now, I gave you my studying style, how I study. It doesn't necessarily mean that you need to copy how I study. It means that you need to find how you study, or you need to understand what works best for you. You need to discover if this method works for you or if this method works for you. Also, you need to consider on what time of the day you actually study. For me, I study during nights and do the necessary works I need to do during the morning or afternoon. You might have it the other way around where you like to study early in the morning or the things like that. So that's why it's important to know your studying style. The third tip is actually to study. It's actually to focus. It's actually to put your butt down on the chair and actually study. Study ka. It's like that. Okay? The fourth tip is to watch my video, because actually I have a video about that and I will link it up here, or I will just write it at the description box below. That's it for this video, mga dong, mga day. I hope that you learned something from this video. Please do subscribe to my channel and do punch that notification bell down below, or else 2 days lang inyong academic break. Adios, ciao, ciao, ciao.